Tom Brady's quest to defend his Super Bowl title is underway. He's entering his 20th season and turns 42 on Saturday. But according to Tom, that 42-year-old body may somehow be getting younger. Brady talked to his former teammate Willie McGinnis about some new training techniques and the results he's seeing on the field. Take a listen.
We saw something, I don't know where it came from, but you did something about your throwing, the speed of your ball. It was like 61 miles an hour, and I think a 40 time. Did you run a 40 and you were faster? So is that something that you're so damn competitive? Is that something that you look back when you came out of the draft and was like, you know what, I'm going to show them 20 years later that I'm better than ever, and I'm still ready to go?
Yeah, because what's that allowed me to do is, you know, the data gives yourself a chance to compare yourself from year to year. And so, like, for example, how hard you throw it. I trained really hard this offseason. I think it worked because of the way I threw it. So I'm going to try to do the same thing next year because I proved to myself that the way that I was training was effective. You know, how far I throw the ball, the distance I need, because that's what I'm thinking about when I get out here. I got guys running 4.3 down the field. I got to throw it 60 yards. I got to throw it 65 yards if I take a hitch. So I need to prove to myself in the offseason I can make those, and I can throw it into tight windows. I'm going to have to throw it 60 miles an hour. So if I feel like I could do that, then I feel like I'm in a good place. So
was the 40-yard accurate? Was the 40 accurate? Were you faster?
There were some good times. I'm definitely faster than I used to be. So I know that the training's paying off, but I was never fast to begin with, and hopefully I don't have to run that much this year. I could just rely on this right arm. That would be my goal this year.
Ah, good old Tom. Shannon, do you believe everything Brady said? Everything in there.
No, Skip. Look, the saying or the phrase that I hate the most is that we hear it all the time from athletes. I'm in the best shape of my life. Even at 25, you hear the guy say 30, guy at 35, and here's Tom Brady about to be 42. Skip, just because Tom says it, that doesn't make it true. So let me get this right. Michael Jordan could jump as high as he could at 34 as he could at 24? No, LeBron James is in maximum peak condition, but he's not the same athlete at 34 that he was at 24. Look, I get it. Tom is trying to put himself in a frame of mind to be able to go out here and compete, because he knows it's more, for him, it's more mental than physical. But just because he says, I'm in the best shape of my life, oh yeah, I ran a faster 40 time, even though we didn't see him run the 40. Oh, I'm throwing it as far, even though we didn't see him throw the football. Skip, I get all that. The thing that I'm most impressed with Tom Brady, and the resume is long, is that for me, Skip, it wasn't the training that drove me away. It was not the practice. It was not the game and the hits. It was the meetings. Because I had only heard this verbiage for 7 years. Red right, you know, wide stick and two-jet, you know, flank or drive. I had heard it for 7 years. For Tom Brady to have heard this for 20 years, the exact same verbiage, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 plays year to year, is unbelievable. That is the thing that I'm most impressed with him. Yes, the 6 Super Bowls are impressive. That goes to show you just how great he is and the longevity and how well he's played. But Skip, to hear something over and over, man. But no, I do not believe Tom Brady can run as fast as he could. Like you said, even though he wasn't fast to begin with, Skip, you can't take a 55 Bel Air or 57 Bel Air and say, you know what, it's faster now than it was in 57. No, it's the same engine. Now, if you change the engine, I mean, if he doing something we don't know about, Skip? I don't think so. I believe Tom Brady is on the up and up. He's the same slow-footed guy that he was coming out, but he can throw the ball exceptional. And that's where, like you said, hopefully he doesn't have to rely on that 7.2 40 speed. He could just rely on his right arm, and I believe that's what he'll do. But I do not believe Tom Brady can throw it as hard, as far, and can run as fast. No, I do not.
I'm going to remind you one more time, this man is shattering the mold.
No, he ain't.
We have never seen anything in all of sports like Tom Brady. He is about to next Saturday. Happy birthday, Ernestine, because they share the same birthday. He is about to turn 42 years of age, and I absolutely believe he improved his throwing velocity over the offseason, because there are ways, that's a very specific thing that you can improve through the proper exercise, the proper training, and I believe Alex Guerrero is third level when it comes to this, that you can improve slightly your velocity and your 40 time at 42 if you know what you are doing. And I believe he knows what he is doing. And what got me was the line that he said, I'm going to try to do the same thing next offseason because this was so beneficial to me this offseason. So you keep saying, you keep pushing it back a year. This is his last year.
I said 20.
Last year.
20.
He's giving no indication that he's even remotely thinking about this being his final year. He's already excited about next offseason. He also made a point that we didn't see, it came just before that answer, that the older you get, the harder you obviously have to work in the offseason, to the point you cannot take an offseason off the way you can when you're a kid.
No.
You don't rest. You work harder because you can't let your body stop. Because if you let it stop as you approach 40, as you know, it will just stop. It's what I used to say about running marathons. I ran 9 of them. I never walked a single step in a marathon. You can't walk. You
Once you
can't
stop,
your body will just scream at you. What are you doing to me? But if the endorphins just keep kicking, then maybe you can trick yourself into 26.2 miles. In Tom's case, he has to keep tricking his body into go forward, get better and better. And he said he took his shoulder pads on vacation with his wife and kids, and he would work out every day in his pads just to keep his body
get used to throwing with pads.
Yeah, with pads on. Well, this is the next level. Right. He's showing you, he's resetting a bar, and it's not the Todd Gurley bar. It's not a fake bar. It's a real bar, because he's backing up the bar by throwing it a little bit harder every year. I thought he threw the heck out of it last year. Again, he is the most effortless thrower of the football I've seen since Joe Montana, because it doesn't look like he's throwing it that hard. But do the results show you that it's getting there quickly? Yes.
Skip, I just think that at a certain point, I think Tom Brady understands the game better. I don't think Tom Brady physically has gotten any better. I think what he can do is read and recognize what defenses are trying to do to him. He has a better understanding of that. He processes, and he sped that process up. But at a certain point, Skip, the body, like you said, father time. When people look at me, they're like, man, you're still in great shape. I say, you know what? I'm just a 51-year-old with muscles. I'm not in as good a shape. They would be like, you're in better shape. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No one's in better. No, you don't get in my 20s and 30s. The problem that I have, and I think Tom has learned through trial and error, is that, Skip, when you get older, you don't work harder, you work smarter, because you can't do the volume. And that's what the hardest thing for get through my thick skull is, that I was trying to do things at 32, 33, Skip, that I was doing at 24, 25. And I wonder why I kept pulling hamstrings, kept tweaking my groin. That volume. So I went to a guy and said, Shannon, that volume at your age, we got to train. We can keep that same intensity, but let's back off the volume. Tom Brady, I believe Tom has gotten smarter. Well, Tom was probably never a volume guy where he was running, 400-meter sprints and 100-meter sprints, because he doesn't need that, Skip. It's just from point A to point B, going through bag stuff, going through cones, things of that nature. I believe Tom is training smarter because he has a better understanding, a better grasp. Because when you first start out, Skip, you have to trial and error. You have to go through a lot of things. Okay, this worked, but this didn't. So I'll do more of this, and I'll do none of that. Okay. And so over the years, I think as time has progressed, he understands exactly what he needs to do physically, exactly what he needs to eat nutrition-wise, and the therapy in which Dr. Guerrero or whomever else works on him. I think he's fine-tuned that. So that's where we are now.
Okay, we're talking about a specific skill of throwing a football. Let's take Tiger Woods. We just saw him win the Masters. I still can't get it through my head. He just won the Masters. He's 43 years of age. His club head speed is the highest of his whole career. How is that? Well, it's a specific skill that he's learned to work on, and you can go in the gym, and I think he's learned a tough gym lesson. You don't need pecs and biceps. You need speed. So there are certain things you can do to again, to fight against
the rotation.
Right.
Well, he learned
increase your speed.
Well, Tiger had to learn the hard way like me. He was still trying to do the volume. As he progressed, Skip, and guess what started happening?
Okay.
Achilles, hamstring, back.
Okay.
And so now he learning smart. But Skip, the thing is with that, with the club head, that was for that tournament. Look at his club head speed at the PGA. Look at his club head speed at the British Open.
But he's got a back problem, and he just wears out.
He had that back problem at the Masters.
No,
so
he didn't. But his club head speed was the highest of his career.
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
For him, the thing that you have to give about Tom, Tom has to have that kind of that hip rotation, which generates the arm to launch the ball down the field. He has to do that over 16 games and then come playoff, not just one game. That's why it's so impressive. But I just believe his anticipation is better.
Look at Phil Mickelson, never known for his fitness.
Yes.
He is in the best shape of his life at age 49.
Well, Skip, he weighed 300 pounds at 25, so he should be in the best shape of his life.
I got it. I don't think he weighed 300
Okay,
pounds,
265.
Okay. He is hitting the ball farther than he ever has in his life, and he was always long, and he's 49 years of age.
Okay.
Why is that? Isometrics, where you continue to push against the side, where you're making your left side stronger than his right side.
But what did he do?
Well,
He don't have this in front of him anymore. He's brought that into here. So it's a lot easier to do this when you don't have that out there in front of you.
okay, and I also think it's very special that Tom Brady will not give up his 40-yard dash. That ugly, all-time ugliest 40 that he ran at the Combine has driven him for the last 20 years.
Right.
And he is self-deprecating about it. He will make fun of himself.
But it's an embarrassing moment because they show it all the time.
Okay, but he'll make the silly little videos.
Right.
If we could show that one that he posts on Instagram, of
The
him,
speed?
the speed
I
video.
love this one.
3, 2, 1.
I mean, it's.
Okay, so he
that's
makes
smart
himself.
training, Shannon.
He makes himself a superhero in a video. But the reality of that is, behind the scenes, he is actually
motivating.
working with Guerrero to improve his. What was his score? I forget what it was.
6 something, Skip.
Was it 6?
It might have been high fives?
Fives? I don't know, but
Maybe
whatever it
high
is, he didn't have much to have to top. But I believe he's slightly faster, and I believe that really matters to him as much as the arm velocity.
Skip, for me, I don't know if it was so much how slow he ran or how he looked running it. I think that was the thing that made him, because he looked like a newborn giraffe. It's like his arms were flailing, his legs were going all over the place. If he'd run that same time and he had looked athletic doing it, I think people were like, well, okay, he's just slow. But the way he looked and running it, that's what like, huh? And you mean to tell me you played quarterback at Michigan and you look like that? But it just goes to show you looks and how fast somebody runs has nothing to do with whether or not you can play a specific sport.
What do you think what play last year would Tom Brady be proudest of? Of all the plays that he pulled off against Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and on, I believe it was the play against Patrick Mahomes' defense when it was 5:25 left in the fourth quarter of the game in Foxborough. Remember what happened?
Would he scramble for the...
We see that? Yeah, he scrambled for a touchdown. This is Tom Brady, and this is why he says, I'm going to work to improve my 40 speed. At least he had a little bit of a burst, a tiny bit of a burst. Not all that impressive to Shannon Sharp, but to Tom Brady, that's impressive because that turned out to be the winning touchdown. That put them up 37-33.
Right.
And he did that. So I promise you, his favorite highlight of the year, after all the throws that he made, and he beat Patrick Mahomes twice that year, and he had the all-time clutch performance in the history of the AFC Championship game in overtime, 3 straight 3rd and 10s he converted, and he beat Aaron Rodgers, he beat Andrew Luck, he beat Deshaun and Kirk Cousins, on and on, but that would be the play he would gravitate to and say, look what I did, and I'm going to improve that quickness a little bit and that speed.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, he can always throw the football, but I think the thing is that he works on his weaknesses, and he understands that scrambling and moving around in the pocket because he would really prefer to isolate in that phone booth. Skip, it left to his vices, he would stay right there in that box. I don't need to get outside, left or right. I don't need to run or do anything like this. I can do all my damage right here. But for him to be able to, like you said, to move out of the pocket and scramble and it was only 4 or 5 yards, but like you said, it was the defining moments, and he's prided himself on being, Tom Brady, if you really look at it, Tom Brady is the moments in which Tom Brady has come up the best. He doesn't know, yeah, he overthrow and he has an interception, but have we ever seen a guy in moments when his back is absolutely against the wall? One missed throw and it's over. And somehow